come say we all day, my time inside, we all they suffer. Something they cause me, they cause you, they cause your son and daughter. Where we all feel come together and try to sort each other. Then you out just because of dollar. Man just they think how fast he go fetch up something today. Forget about him, people make them find them our own way. Forget him, say the same people put on for where he day. He cast too high to see suffering below, he's too far away. Them get eyes, but them know they see. Them get heart, but them know they feel. Some too they get mind, but them know they think. That be why we all day inside a boat where we they sink. I say them get eyes, but them know they see. Them get heart, but them know they feel. Some too they get mind, but them know they think. That be why we all day inside a boat where we they sink. Myopia, they know they see nothing. Ice cold heart, they know they feel nothing. Bad minds, all they know they think about you. That be why we all day inside the boats where we they sink. I say, myopia, they know they see nothing. Ice cold heart, they know they feel nothing. Bad minds, all they know they think of.
My guest tonight is the Director of Research at the Office of the President. I'm sure by now you know, Dr. Isaac Owusu Mensah. He's a wonderful political scientist. I mean, of course, many of you who heard of him prior to election 2016 knew his works and knew the very wonderful things he used to do. But now, he basically does the same research, but for government, for the highest level in our country. Doc, you're welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
I hope you are doing well.
By the grace of God, I'm well.
Oh, I see. But are you doing well as in making more money now as you are in the seat of president and doing the wonderful things that people do there?
Unfortunately, I'm not making money. I was making money outside government than here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because if you are in the university, you can do your consultancy, raise some money here and there. But here, you take your salary home once in a while. Somebody come and give you some gift. But however, demands on you from across the country is so high. My father's funeral, my mother's this and this. And these are all party people. You go to constituency and you rely on them. So you must attend to their needs.
That's an interesting perspective. Yeah. You are perhaps the only politician who's, of course, I mean, you cannot really be called a politician. That's where the difficulty is. Anyway, let's zoom into what's been happening recently. Yeah. Were you shocked by the results of the final presidential primaries?
I was not shocked, but there were some areas that require some work to be done. I was not shocked because, one, you realize that we are in government, and therefore we have some people who have not benefited from government. They struggle so well in 2016 for the government to win the power. They struggle again in 2020 for the government to win power. They've not had anything. So when there was this contest of a presidential primary, they found opportunity to join others who are not supporting the so-called establishment. So they decided to push to support those people. So all those people who are disillusioned about the performance of government and all this, who are party members, decided not to support Dr. Bawumia's team, but go and support whoever was available. And you realize that it was 4-horse race between among these four, but turned out to be 2-horse race between Dr. Bawumia and Ken. So eventually all of them moved towards Ken. At the same time, you remember Honorable Alan Chamantin has been very strong at the base, even not at the constituency level, but at the base. So when he resigned and left the party and left the contest, all of them got recruited by Ken's coordinating team, Ken's members, and all of them came together and voted. So I wasn't too surprised about the performance. And it's also important to mention that some of the MPs and some of the parliamentary aspirants who seem to have a lot of base, the word seem to have a lot of base, they didn't have that base. So you realize that, and I've said on another platform, that if the parliamentary primaries were held the same day, like the NDC did their own presidential primaries, a lot of our MPs would have lost their seats by now.
That's an interesting perspective.
Yes,
it's something we'll be exploring. But let's start from the beginning of all of this. 85%, at least 80%. Oh, no, we will do more than 75%. I don't want to attach names to it, but these were government people, supporters of Dr. Bawumia, and sometimes even people, including the majority leader in parliament, who were proposing that the least Dr. Bawumia could get would have been in the 70s. You do research for government. You are giving them this hope, right?
I'm not the one who said that they were going to get 70%. I didn't see that in the...
You sure?
I have done some polls.
Yes.
I have done some polls, and the polls that I did was not so regular. But when Alan resigned and Ken also came in, or Ken took over the process of the, what they call the grassroots, I did not do any polls to find out what was going on. But I know other institutions of the state, they searched polls and therefore provided the lesson that they were going to, Dr. Bawumia was going to win 75%, 78%, 80%, different organizations. But as a matter of fact, I did not intervene.
But you are director of research.
Yes, sir.
The presumption some of us have outside is that if there's any prudent research or any survey that's been done, it will be through you.
Oh yes, when I do my survey, because I'm at the president's, when I do my survey, my fidelity is to His Excellency the President. When I do it, and I'll give it to him. And if he decides that this survey should be shared with which interested party, that's it. But for me, my fidelity or my first responsibility of any work I do is to give it to him, and then he decides who should have what.
Now, let's understand this point clearly. You did not do the survey that actually says 75% or more is going to go to Dr. Bawumia.
I did not do that survey.
Because it will be legitimate for people to blame you. Won't it be legitimate?
Oh, it will be legitimate for people to blame me, but I did not do any survey that says that Dr. Bawumia was going to get 75% or 80%.
For those of us not in government, would it be fair to presume that any survey in government informing about elections would have gone through your approval? Or you would have seen this survey?
Not necessarily, because you remember in 2008 and beyond, and up to this time, BNI have been doing their own surveys.
Okay.
National Security have been doing their own survey. We've been making it public.
Oh yeah, the other time we understood that from...
And that doesn't come through me.
Oh, I see. So you don't get to...
No, I don't get to. But I only hear that National Security have done this survey, and these are the findings. I only hear, but I've never had the privilege to sit in their briefing before. The National Security have done this survey. We are going to brief this person or that person. Come and sit down and listen to their views. And if you have some comment, I've never been part of that. And I've never been part of any BNI survey or even read any BNI report about a survey being conducted. I've never done that.
So this 75%, was it coming from the BNI or National Security?
I said the number of state institutions did their own. So I don't know who brought the 78%, who brought 75%, who brought the 80%. But in the morning, I was speaking to some people who told me that they are sure by the close of evening they have 80%.
And they are based on a survey of a sort?
Survey of a sort from one of the institutions. But certainly, it was not my institution. But that would be surprising to get 80% because certainly you know that Honorable Alan Chamantin has some base, which we also going to vote, because it was not possible for Dr. Bawumia's team to have recruited everybody who belonged to Honorable Alan Chamantin. At the same time, Ken also had some base. At the same time, Adanimo will have some little base. At the same time, Honorable Afriye will also have some little base. So to say 80% means that Ken was going to get about 15% or 18% at the end of the day. So scientifically, it was not possible immediately to get that, because given the challenges that the government is facing now in terms of not enough resources for everybody to benefit, you certainly want to know that people will show their displeasure through the polls.
Well, and you know what you're saying is actually because if then their poll or survey may not be credible, right? Because what you explained to me is that scientifically it may not be possible to do the 80s or the 70s.
Yes, because you see, I travel along the country. For instance, let me give an example. You had people in some assemblies, 3-4 people who came to contest at the district chief executive.
Okay.
They came for the interview. Only one person got. The 3 of them did not get anything. And they are party people who have served the party, some of them 20 years, some of them 26 years, and in fact, some constituencies, somebody has been secretary for 24 years, and he has not gotten anything. All such people, to recruit them into Dr. Bawumia's team will be quite difficult, because there are people who think that, look, it's our time to also benefit from the resources of other candidates. So I'll be a coordinator for Ken, or I'll be a coordinator for this place, so that I can also make some little income for my family. People to see that having served in the party all these years, this is the little reward I'm also going to get.
Now, the other question that's come up heavily is that this was rebellion against the establishment. To your mind, what were the factors that led to the 61 or so percentage that Dr. Bawumia got?
You see, NPP has been a party that nobody gets so much percentage. As a matter of fact, if these polls had not come out to say that Dr. Bawumia was going to get 80% or 75% and said that Dr. Bawumia was just going to win, there won't be any point of discussion. Because, but because we projected ourselves that we're going to win 80% or 75%, anything short, you will not be happy at the end of the day. Because to win 61% in a delegate election is a lot of work went into it. But we had projected that we are going to beat everybody, we are beating everybody, and we are making this mark, and therefore we are supposed to be there. So if you ask somebody who's quoted in tree, what to pressure man? That's simply because you see, let's put it in context. Honorable Ken Ejapon is a very strong man within the NPP. I, as Owusu, have met him a number of times in the north, campaigning in Yendi, in other places in the north, in Sunyai, in Techima, Aworowa, and so many places. I have met him in person, campaigning, without anybody sending him, using his own money, driving his own car. Where are the party people? I'm here to help you to campaign. And interestingly, in 2020, he was going to all the difficult constituencies that were difficult for the MPs to win. He was going to these constituencies. And you know that when he goes, the Bawumis, he will provide some service to 1 or 2 party members. And those party members will certainly remember him when he's also in the need. So he's cutting across the country. And more importantly, if you look at the results, Central Region is one of the regions he's been working so hard over the period of time. So he was supposed to do well in Central Region. Secondly, Honorable Afenyo Marken is also very strong in Central Region. So to assume that Central Region was not going to be for him, you'll be deceiving yourself. And this is an election, and that has shown to all of us that all Ghanaians, we know that when you're going for election, you always want to spring from your home. Just as in the super delegates, the northeast, everybody voted for his the vice president. That's the true. Same way, we're expecting the Assans to also come out strongly, and even constituencies around Assans to also support him. And this is exactly what happened.
That's an interesting development. Was Dr. Bawumia always going to win without establishment support?
You see, whether we like it or not, NPP as a political party will have blocks. It's expected because we have all come from different backgrounds, different ethnic, academic, religion, all of that. So you expect that there will be some blocks here and there. And over the years, this Danko Buzia block has always been there, and it will continue to be there. And therefore, it's expected that he will have some support from one point or the other. You see, the issue about the fact that NPP has been an account party is a difficulty for the party. You remember Honorable Malik contested and he lost. You remember the former vice president contested and he lost. Ali Muhammad. You remember Afoku becoming the chairperson and there were some issues and he was removed. So this was the biggest litmus test for the NPP. So people told us, not because we really love the establishment, but we think that it is time for us to ensure, and especially when His Excellency President John Mahama has indicated that all Dr. Bawumia was being used and he'll be damned. So people thought that it was important to bring this into perspective. And
but would it be fair? Is it not basing your decisions on a popular, sometimes even mythical or not so grounded propaganda against your party? Why would you make such an important decision like choosing a flag bearer based on that?
No, but he is competent. He's been the vice president, and people think that it is time, because at the same time, you remember when Vice President Ali Muhammad came in, there was all kinds of reasons why he shouldn't be the he shouldn't be the presidential candidate, because they said that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the president now, has been the one waiting. It was his turn. So these factors did not come in as well.
Except that when it came to Alanche Martin's turn, the Adjumisu theory did not work.
Adjumisu theory did not work. But that time, people thought that it was the turn of Nana Akufo-Addo to lead the party. And this important decision for us as a NPP, we consider as a critical to give the gentleman a chance to lead the party at the end of the day. So it's not just because he's from the north, but he's competent and he's capable to lead, because he's the vice president of the republic. Clement
Japon said making Dr. Bawumia your candidate was really handing over the elections to the NDC.
I don't believe so.
That's what he said.
Oh, that is his view. That is his view. All of us have view, and whatever the view is based on science is different. We all have our views.
Why do you think such a huge number voted for Kennedy Japon?
I've indicated that he cut across the country. People know what he has done for them. Number two, we also have coordinators who got recruited by him, who are not happy or have not benefited from the government, and they thought that it was important for them to demonstrate their dissatisfaction about the performance of the government in terms of happy or have not benefited from the government, and they thought that it was important for them to demonstrate their dissatisfaction about the performance of the government in terms of